and welcome to another Read and Roll, ladies and gentlemen. The Library of Legend, of course. I am Jack Tar Lad, and we're here today to bring on another adventurer. Last week we had Daramuth, and he was able to he was able to score some points from the chat through donations. He was able to get his stamina completely rebuilt during a battle in which he was doing very poorly, unfortunately, only to continue his streak of bad luck and have all of that stamina taken away again in rapid succession. It was a bit of a laugh. If you do want to go and watch that, go check out the Read and Roll channel on Rumble. In fact, I should put that in the chat right now. I always seem to forget about the Rumble channel. But if you just give me a second, I never seem to have it lined up. But today we have an adventurer rejoining us to complete their mission, hopefully, and to continue their quest from last time, which is the Talisman of Death. Of course, you know who he is. He's on the Hump Day Chinwag with myself and Tomby and the rest of the gang. He's a creator of Conan the Barbarian game servers and connoisseur of the tabletop board game. It is, of course, Kadath Gaming. How you doing, Greg?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good to see you back.
It's good to be here. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this since I died horribly last time.
It's good to see you front as well.
I can turn
well,
right.
you didn't exactly die. You're on the cusp at the moment.
Plot armor.
Yeah, I think we can call it that, plot armor. Yeah. But we did go through a little bit of it in the background, but there have been some changes that I've made to the show since the last time you were on. I think I did mention a few of these to you. However, if you go in, for the viewers at home, of course, if you go into the description at the bottom of this video, you should see a list of monetization options. Where's it gone now? Because I want to read them out to you very quickly. So at least you, Greg, also know what's going on with regards to what the options are. Let me just get to the description here. So in the description, I have a list of options. It is a bit convoluted, and I'm trying to think of a better way to deliver it, because it is a little bit convoluted, but it goes from £1 to £100 currently. And so £1 will give you 1 provision or 2 gold. £2 gives a random potion with a 1 in 6 chance of a luck potion. £3 gives a potion of choice, but it's still 1 in 6 chance of a luck potion. Alternatively, it increases one of your stats by 1. A £5 donation will give you the Adventurer's Care package, which means that you'll get 2 of either 4 gold or 2 provisions, or 1 potion and either 4 gold or 2 provisions. Alternatively, the £5 donation will give you a re-roll. So if you make a roll that you don't like and you've been granted a re-roll by the very generous chat out there, then you'll be able to re-roll and use that. However, a £10 donation returns all stats to their initial values or returns a lifeline that you've used. A £15 donation is the Chaos Coin. It will either reduce all of your stats by 1, it will either remove 2 provisions, 1d6 worth of gold, it will remove 1 potion, or it will add 1 to any stat, or it will add 1d6 worth of gold.
Does it turn
So
me into a toad on a 1?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll add that later. Anyway, £20 donation spawns a random enemy. At any point during the game, no matter where you are, if someone makes a £20 donation, it will spawn a random enemy, which will be, their stats will be decided on a dice roll. A £25, and I'm not too sure about this one, I might get rid of this one. A £25 donation means a sneaky squirrel comes along and steals something, but there's a 1 in 6 chance. There's a 1 in 6 chance of adding 1 provision or 1 gold or a random potion. A £30 donation will give you the Insta-kill spell. So if you're in a battle at any time, if you have the Insta-kill spell, you could just use it and that's the enemy dead. A £50 donation gives you an extra life. So if you're in the middle of a battle and you die, you can use the extra life and continue battling from where you are. Or it increases all initial stats by 1. I know, £50. However, the top tier monetization option is the £100 donation, which reduces all of your stats by 1. Or all of your initial stats by 1. I should make that more clear.
Is that a popular one?
No.
Yeah. Good.
Well, I purposefully made it a high bar because I didn't want people to spam it. I didn't want to give people the option of being able to spam it. It's the same with the £50 one or the £30 one. You know, they're relatively... The £30 one especially is relatively expensive. So is the £50 one. But the £100 one, no one's going to be spamming £100. And if you do, then fine, thanks. I'll take it. But nevertheless... It
doesn't really count as snacking. It's multivitamins.
What's that? Are you eating?
Atom Grey. Yeah, I was just. I thought, I must have my vitamins, so I had a gummy, and it's not
grazing.
Not those kind of gummies. It's just a vitamin.
Well, those kinds of gummies are illegal over here, aren't they, Greg?
Exactly.
We wouldn't be doing any types of illegal narcotics or anything anywhere in any form, would we, Greg?
That would be illegal.
That would be illegal. Yes. Anyway. Before we get into the game, we're going to say a quick hello to the chat. We've got Legatus Legionis here. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for being one of my best mods. In fact, one of the best mods on the internet. We've also got your boy Kadath Gaming here. Don't know who he is, but welcome. Steve. Good to see you, mate. You didn't miss it. You're right here, right on time. And Crimson Shudder. What's the crack, mate? Good to see you. He said we got a Yarny raid incoming. Interesting.
We did. We got
That's
raided.
A fancy ass intro. Have you never seen the intro before, Steve? You've never been here in time for the intro. Nice.
He's usually asleep.
He is usually asleep, isn't he? But oh yes, with Daramuth, yeah, ran into an endless loop of attack round losses. It was I think it was a £5 donation that he got, which meant that he got a potion. He got a potion of strength, and a couple of provisions or something like that. And so I allowed him to use the potion of strength as he died, basically. And so it returned his stats all the way to the top again, and he just wore them down. The problem was he was attacking. He was fighting a serpent lady, a serpent queen, and just before he started the attack, she surprised him by biting him on the neck, and he lost 4 stamina immediately, plus 1 skill, and she had a skill of 10 or something like that. And that left him with a skill of 6 or something. So pretty much every roll he was at a disadvantage, and it was just He was either losing stamina or parrying. So unfortunately, he died twice in the same battle.
He was doing?
City of Thieves.
Oh, that is a tough one, I think.
It is a very tough one, but one of my favourites, absolutely. And that's how... Oh, yes, that's how we got the Dara law rule, because he donated to himself. So you're not allowed to donate to yourself. You're not allowed to donate to the stream in order to give yourself an advantage, but the chat can.
That's a Kirk level move on the back end there. So that's impressive.
Welcome to Davyverse as well. Nice to see you, mate. Uncle Martin and Yanni raids. Well, good to see you. Greg. It's
Hello.
not in. Steve. And Abe's here, of course. Welcome, Abe. Thank you for joining us. Wandara. Yes. Eclectic Goat. Welcome. Yarn Raid. Indeed. Yarn Raid, indeed. Where is she? There she is. Hello, Yanni. It's a pleasure to see you. Welcome to the chat, my dear. I hope you're going to stick around for a while instead of doing wifey stuff for your husband and the household or whatever the fuck it is women do. Anyway, moving on. I cannot type. No, neither can I, which is a good thing. Atom Grey. Pleasure to meet you, mate. Well, I say pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Although we haven't necessarily met, I have been meaning to come on B-sides. I hear that you're having issues with YouTube getting your monetization, even though you've been meeting all of your goals. And in fact, not just meeting, smashing the goals. They're being a bit of a pain in the backside at the moment. Banning people and not granting them monetization, etc., etc. Anyway, I think that's it for the chat for now. He was just one attack round win from killing her to... That's right. Well done. Well done to you in the chat. He had got her down to 2 or 1 point of stamina, and he couldn't get her down any further. Just couldn't push that head down well enough. She was having none of it. Anyway, let's get into the game.
I dug through my piles of paper because I'm old school, and I found my notes from last time. But I can't understand them because I can't read half of the words, and the other ones make no sense. So
you got your map?
I don't think I made one.
Oh, well, so it was just a map of notes. I see what you mean.
I thought I made a map, but that was just... Well, actually, I did draw 2 entrances.
I've drawn a few entrances too.
That's the map.
Well, just to give the chat a little bit of a refresher on where you are. You have a current initial skill of 11, a current initial stamina of 21, and a current initial luck of 13. But that's only because you had taken a potion of luck during the last game, and unfortunately, you died.
Yeah,
so at the moment, yes, unfortunately, at the moment you're in gamebook limbo. And I'll read the chapter out, or I'll read the paragraph out. So here we go. Your spirit floats gently towards the valley. Go on.
As far as I recall, I had met up with the Thieves Guild, and they were helping me to get into the castle to do something. And they went and hid in the shadows, and I hid behind a curtain. But my little feet were sticking out at the bottom of the curtain, and I got fucked over.
I believe that's
just
correct.
Killed on the spot, even though I had good stats and shit. So I just basically died, and then summoned back. So this is where we are.
Yes, so this is where we are. Your spirit floats gently towards the Valley of Death. The featureless, wind-blasted plain stretches away endlessly beyond the horizon. The souls of the dead wander there aimlessly in solitude. Just as you approach the edge of the valley, an ethereal wind gets up and your soul is wafted away. Soon you feel yourself in the presence of the two who summoned you to this fantastic world of magic. The eyeless being in robes of shifting hues says, "All is not yet lost." You understand the words without hearing them. If your spirit is willing, we will reunite it with your body and turn back the wheels of time. The other offers you a choice. If you wish it, I will send you back in time. You will be at the lip of the rift again, which was the large chasm where you pretty much started the adventure. Do you wish to go back in time to attempt the quest again? If you do, he lays a hand on your shoulder, they disappear, you are alive again, your wounds are healed, and you have 10 provisions. You also have only the equipment with which you began your adventure, including the Talisman of Death if you had lost it. Anything else you picked up along the way has disappeared, and you will have to cross it off your adventure sheet. All of your skill, stamina, and luck are at their initial levels. Suddenly, you are on the surface of Orb once again, and we should turn to 125. So the choice is to either re-roll your stats and start from the very beginning, or we can keep your stats, lose everything that you've got up until this point.
I can't remember where I got that sword.
Should I tell him? Well, I think I'm gonna give you a refresher. You went into a barn or a house of some kind, and a death walker or a death wraith came in whilst you were trying to sleep. And partway through the battle, the ghostly figure of the
the philosopher or something, the ghost of the sage came to me.
He appears and gives you the sword, the holy sword, basically. And then he wafts his hand, and away goes the death wraith. So, your options are simple. You can either die right here, right now, and we'll start right from the beginning and re-roll your stats, or you can restart with your current stats as they are there, or I should say, your initial stats as they are there.
That luck is too low. Looking at it.
Well, the current luck is, but it's got
potion.
Well, this is the thing. So basically, 13 is too high for an initial luck roll. So that means that you had the potion of luck in the beginning of the last adventure. All of these stats, your current stats, I should say, they're going to go back to these levels when we restart the game, if you choose to go back to the edge of the rift. You'll get your provisions back. You'll lose the holy sword, the 14 gold, and the ruby, and you will gain back the Talisman of Death and the potion of luck.
Yeah, that sounds fine. I was thinking I'd proceed with 4 luck, which would be suicide.
So basically, you managed to score on your initial luck last time a score of 12. And we know this because you've taken the potion of luck, pot of luck, which you can now take again at any point during your adventure.
Handy.
However, we get rid of the items that you previously had and grant you back the talisman. So I guess we... Oh yes, good for you. Well done.
There we go.
I told you I couldn't type, Yanni. Right, there we go. So you've got a sword, a backpack, a pot of luck, the talisman is back, and you've got provisions of 10. And all of your stats are back to their initial levels. And so, I guess, we can go back to the very beginning. which is 125. Dark elves and cave trolls. Sorry, I should ask. Are you ready to continue?
Yep.
Jolly good. Let's go. So, dark elves and cave trolls are pouring into the cavern, attacking the shield maiden. As the paladin and the priest rush to her aid, you see a huge shadowy form looming behind the sea of elves and trolls. The paladin's glittering sword cuts through the horde, but the dark elves are using magic, and the shield maiden is unable to turn back their attack. She falls beneath their onslaught. The huge fiend howls triumphantly, just as the wizard completes his spell. Turn to 185. Suddenly, you are in blinding sunshine. You are standing at the lip of an immense chasm. You realize that this must be the rift the Crusaders spoke of. The rocky earth is blackened and cracked, full of pits and fissures. The niazome is and niazome fumes rise from the depths of the chasm. To the west, you see a range of green hills partially covered in trees and thick woodland. A few hundred meters to your right, you can see where a forest begins, extending all the way to the hills. You realize that you must head in the direction of the hills to reach Grey Guilds. But which route will you take? If you go through the forest, turn to 256. If you would rather take the more direct route across open ground, turn to 134.
So I've got Grey Guilds on the moor here.
That's right. You're heading towards your mission. Just to remind you, your mission in this game is to get the stone hammer, which needs to be reunited with the dwarves at Grey Guilds on the moor. Or is it Stonebridge? Yes, Stonebridge.
Okay. So,
but you need to get to Grey Guilds first.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go a different route, because last time I went through the forest and that turned out to be pretty dangerous. This is all going to be dangerous, but I'm going to take a different route. So
134?
Yeah.
You set off across the rocky broken ground towards the hills. After a short while, you notice two armed bands running towards you. Not two armed bands, like, war wings.
Support.
The group to the south consists of 20 or more orcs, snarling as they lope purposefully towards you. They are hunched and misshapen, dressed in greasy, blackened leather. Yeah?
Fuck that.
And carrying sawtooth scimitars. Their shields are emblazoned with a purple claw. To the north, you can make out a small group of dark elves, similar to those which killed the shield maiden. They are tall and lithe, wearing ornately spiked armor, carrying long swords of a dull black metal. They are some way off, but closing fast. So will you head for the orcs, head for the elves, run for the hills, or hide?
Being a bit of an Iron Maiden fan, I'm going to run for the hills.
Run for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you know what? As well, I should give you back your lifeline as well, so you can backtrack, and I should be making a note of your decisions that you're making. So from this point on, I will be making a note of what decisions you've been making. Okay. So you run as... Oh, hang on. You run as fast as you can along the rocky ground. Your lungs are burning with the effort. As you approach the hills, you look back and see that both groups are roughly now the same distance behind you. The elves coming from the north are in a tight pack, while the orcs to the south are beginning to string out. Will you head north to meet the elves, climb a hill to the south to face the orcs, or run on?
Both groups are now roughly the same distance from you. Don't say they're gaining on me.
Not necessarily. but they are both the same distance from you. So will you head to the north to meet the elves, climb a hill to the south to face the orcs, or run on?
I think I'll run on, because there's 20
Okey-dokey.
orcs. I don't want to face them. And the elves killed that shield maiden, and she's probably harder than me.
Righty-ho. Your legs are beginning to grow heavy as you reach a gap between two hills. You are slowing now, and wonder how much longer you can keep this up. Looking back, you are pleased to see that the elves and the orcs have met and are engaged in bloody battle. The elves are making short work of the orcs. Strange sparks leap from their hands, killing the orcs instantly. It's that insta-kill spell I told you about. You realize that any respite you have gained will be short-lived and press on. Over the hill, you come to a verdant valley deep in ferns. Turn to 203. When you reach the floor of the valley, you find a pool into which a spring is bubbling. Feeling thirsty after having come so far, you step forward to the pool to drink where the branches of a gnarled old willow meet the water. Almost immediately, you begin to feel strange, sleepy, and realize that you are swaying, about to topple into the pool. Test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 36. If you're unlucky, turn to 319. So, let's have a look. You've got a luck of 12, so you will be lucky. But if you wouldn't mind rolling 2d6, please. There you go. You got 5. I'm going to deduct one of your luck there. So now you have 11. And you were lucky. Well done.
Yay.
You did it. So, turn to 36. Oh, good. How is this lucky? You struggled to overcome the drowsiness, and the spell is broken. Looking up, you can see 2 large green eyes staring at you from the trunk of the willow. Before you can step back, you are attacked by the branches of the enraged tree. You must fight the willow weird. This thing has a skill of 8 and a stamina of 20. If you make 4 successful attacks, turn to 26. Okay, so I guess we're going in.
That's what she said.
I guess so. So it's got a skill of 8 and a stamina of 20. So let's get the battle music on and let's start this battle. Here we go. So to start the first battle round, if you wouldn't mind rolling 2d6 for the enemy, please.
Yeah.
A 1 and a 2. Oh, not a 0, a 2. That gives them 11, which is not bad at all. And 2 for yourself, please. Nice. A 6 and a 2 gives you 19. You win that battle round. And so we'll reduce their stamina to 18. Would you like to test your luck?
At this point, no, because luck is fleeting.
It is, but you do have a potion of luck, remember?
Oh, yeah.
You can't use it during the battle.
Yeah, but I don't want... Yeah, that's for... how does that potion work again? Does it restore you back to your original and give you +1?
Yes.
Yeah. So you get the most effect from it when you've spanked through all of your luck.
Pretty much, mate.
Yeah, right.
So, until then, though, roll 2d6 for the enemy, please, in the next attack round. 5 and a 4 gives them 17. And if you wouldn't mind rolling 2 for yourself, please. A 6 and a 3 gives you 20, which means you've won the attack round again. Well done. We'll reduce their stamina down to 16. Would you like to test your luck or keep going?
No, I'll keep going.
2d6, please.
Pruning this, doing a bit of coppicing here.
A 3 and a 2 gives them 13. And 2 for yourself. A A 5 and a 3 gives you 19, which means that you have won your 3rd successful attack round. You've only got to do one more, and then we'll be changing pages. So, would you like to test your luck?
No. I'm going to keep going. That's a 5 and a 1 on my screen.
Okie dokie, I'll take it as a 5. I'll take your word for it, Greg. You are an honourable man.
I trust the dice.
And 2d6 for yourself. A 6 and a 1 gives you 18, which means you were successful. We'll reduce their stamina down to 12. However, at this point in the battle, we are going to turn to 26 because you made 4 successful attack rounds. With a mighty blow, your sword cuts through one of the willow's branches and some sap falls from the tree onto your arm. The willow gives a low moan, stops attacking and pulls its branches back from you. Will you plunge your arm into the pool or beat a hasty retreat?
I don't know.
Knowing what you know about these kinds of game books, they wouldn't give you an option if there wasn't an advantage and a disadvantage or a neutral choice.
Yeah.
But which is the advantage?
Well, I mean, I did all right on the basilisk last time.
You did.
I'm trying to remember the willow weird, but...
Well, sap's gone on your arm.
I think there's something about, like, they're associated with pools, and they... If you drink from the pool, you are drugged, or basically you fall into a stupor, and you can fall in and drown, and then they'll eat you. But I don't know what the sap does. I may be making that up. I'm full of fucking bullshit like that. If you're GM, you have to make it up on the spot most of the time. Oh yes, that's. Okay, I'm going to take a risk against my better instincts, which say run away. I don't know. I'll probably end up with a bark arm or something if I run away. It might be quite handy. Go on, I'll retreat, hoping that I get armor.
Okie dokie. Well, here we go. Let's find out. You're going to beat a hasty retreat and turn to 39. Okay, so that's the battle over. I can tell you that had you chosen... Oh, no, I can't tell you. Because you've got to backtrack.
I've got to backtrack.
And you could go back.
You have to tell me in 2 goes.
Yeah. So you wend your way along the bank of the river that runs west from the spring and leave the ferns behind. The terrain has become a little more open now. Looking back, your heart quickens as you catch the sight of one of the elves sniffing at your trail.
Oh,
he moves with a lithe swiftness which would seem graceful if it wasn't for his spiked black armor and deadly expression. How can you see that far? While you are watching, he stands up and points in your direction. They are not far behind. You must decide quickly. Will you run along the riverbank, plunge into the river and run along for some distance before scrambling up the bank, or hide in a clump of bushes?
The middle one.
Plunge into the river, run along for some distance before scrambling up the bank, yes?
Yes. Cover my tracks.
Jolly good.
And my scent.
You are a clever man. The river winds between the hills. You wade along it, knowing that the dark elves will lose your scent in the water. After a while, you climb out on the other side of the river and continue on your way. Turn to 331. Well done.
See you, losers. They'll be back. They'll be back. I'm gonna have to
and in greater numbers. Right, so the river flows out of the hills into a wide plain where it turns north. You strike out west across the wild grasslands. Just when you think you've finally lost your pursuers, you notice a group of figures closing fast. Cursing under your breath, you realize that they are onto you again. Doggedly, you force yourself on, but the strain takes its toll. Lose 2 stamina points. Unlucky. Just as you are steeling yourself to turn and face your fell adversaries, that doesn't make sense. You see a cloud of dust ahead.
Fell
I
means
see.
dark and evil, yeah.
Man, I really need to learn my language. Like, learn more about my own language. Anyway, just as you are steeling yourself to turn and face your fell adversaries, you see a cloud of dust ahead. You can soon make out a group of 20 horsemen. They wheel their steeds towards you, and the drumming of hooves carries to you over the breeze as they canter in your direction. Seeing this, the elves seem to give up the chase and fall back, obviously unwilling to encounter the riders. You are thankful to see the back of them and decide to wait for the riders to approach. As they get nearer, you see that it is a band of warrior women clad in chainmail and studded leather armor.
Death by snoo.
Death by snoo indeed. Well, it could be. Who knows? Their faces look grim and unwelcoming as they wheel around you, forming a close circle. The captain spurs her horse forward and tersely demands what you are doing out here along the edge of the moor. What will you do?
This sounds familiar. Did this happen in the forest?
You met them before. So what will you do? You have 5 choices. Ask them to aid you in your quest. Say that you are from another world. Say that you are the sole survivor of an ambushed caravan. Pretend that you are deaf and dumb. Or demand that they escort you to grey guilds on the moor.
So many options. I can't remember what we did, how this went last time. I'm not the sole survivor of an ambush caravan, so that would be a lie.
It would be a lie, but who says that lying is wrong?
Say you're from another world would be true, but is unbelievable. So,
ask them to aid you in your quest.
Ply me with beer.
It means you go west an awful lot and choose unmarked doors.
Is it? Oh, is that the form? Is it? Okay. I think I'm going to demand that they escort me to grey guilds on the moor. I think I probably did that before, but with a different destination. I can't remember.
Here we go then. So you were on 331. Let's just double check that you're logged in. So 331. You have got to backtrack, don't forget. So demand that they escort you to grey guilds on the moor, 95. The captain sneers at you and says sarcastically, "Why, yes, mighty warrior, we shall be glad to do as you ask. You shall dine with our leader, Horkana, tonight. Mount yourself behind Elvira here," she says as pointing to one of the younger women. The women begin to chuckle, and then the captain says, "But first, we must take your weapon." So, turn to 142. However, you do have a backtrack, so if you want to use that at this point, choose something else. Otherwise, we'll go to 142.
All these decisions, man.
I know, right? A choose your own adventure game book and...
It's stressful, dude. Right. I don't think I want to use a backtrack until I die, really. Or is that too late? Is that too late to use?
If you're dead...
No.
Sorry, so if you're dead by battle, you wouldn't be able to use it because you have to use the backtrack before you begin the battle. However, if it's a choice that you make, like a paragraph that you turn to and it's like your adventure ends here, then you can use the backtrack.
If I use a backtrack and they try and take my weapon again, I'm going to be pissed off, but I'll do it. I'll use the backtrack. Go on. I'm curious now if it's going to give me a different outcome.
It may do. So we'll cross off your backtrack.
Watch me choose the same option again.
So we've taken away your backtrack. That incidentally can be bought back if the generous chat want to make a donation of the appropriate amount, which is in the description below. They can buy you a backtrack back, or one of your used lifelines. They can buy that back for the appropriate amount, which is down in the description there. And incidentally, the donation link is in the description below, but it's also the pinned comment above in the chat. So we'll go back to, where was it? 331, was it? 331, I believe so. So
spoilers.
Nah, it's all right. So your choices are now. You've already demanded that they escort you to Grey Guilds on the Moor, so we'll leave that one alone. So your choices are: ask them to aid you in your quest, say that you are from another world, say that you are the sole survivor of an ambushed caravan, or pretend that you are deaf and dumb. The first rule about Nephilim is you do not know about Nephilim.
I guess I'm going to say I'm from another world.
I see.
Because that's the most out there and unusual thing out of all 5 of them.
It is. Oh, incidentally, you remember that you got some shit on your arm and you could have plunged your arm in water.
Yes.
Well, now that you've used your backtrack and that you're very far away from that choice, it would have restored some stamina points because the willow weird sap has healing properties.
But I didn't wash it off.
No, you didn't. No, I mean, if you'd have dipped your hand in the pool and the sap would have reacted with water.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway. So you want to say you're from another world, yes?
Yes.
73 then, here we go. The captain's brow furrows as you tell your story. There is some muttering from her companions, which she silences with a quick gesture. We must take you to Horkana in Grey Guilds. She will want to speak with you. Climb up behind Elvira here and give me your sword. She points to one of the younger women. Will you hand over your sword and get on the horse, or refuse, saying that you would rather make your own way?
Well, the terms seem a bit better. She's not being snarky, so I'll go with 155.
Okie dokie. Elvira helps you up behind her. She appears none too pleased at the prospects of sharing her horse with you, and you ride in silence across the wilderness. Lose 2 skill points until you acquire another sword. So,
we're not going to give it back.
You may or you may not get this sword back.
Oh, right.
But until then, you will lose 2 skill points, bringing you down to 9. Meh. Carrying on, anyway. You ride on into the late afternoon, moving from the wilderness to a grey and desolate moor. Ahead you can see the walls of a large city. A salute is given as you approach the huge arched gate in the fortified wall. The captain details half her patrol to remain on guard at the gate. Turning to you, she says, "We are taking you to Horkana. She will want to ask you some questions. Do you want to seize the first opportunity to fight your way out, or go quietly and see what happens?"
I'll go quietly and see what happens.
Okay. You ride into the City of Learning, Grey Guilds, along a street called Moorgate. Many of the buildings are quite grand, built of light grey stone. You see a mixture of people in the streets. There are some men wearing light blue togas who are sages and professors from the Guilds of Learning. Other groups of young men and women are carrying books and scrolls. You realise that, unarmed as you are no match for these women and have no alternative but to go with them. So that's a bit of this is a bit of an exposition sort of paragraph, isn't it? Another one. You are taken along Moorgate past various food and pottery shops, and then down bustling Store Street. They turn right down Guard Street and come to a halt outside a squat grey building. It is a watch house. The patrol dismounts and you are ushered inside. After a short delay, you are taken into a large office. Inside is a tall, striking, raven-haired woman dressed in a long black cloak which parts to reveal the polished hilt of a long sword.
Soon to be mine.
You hope. Her bearing suggests great personal power. She stands and greets you, and she says, "I am Horkana, High Priestess of the Temple of Felcarinla, and Marshal of the Watch. You've been telling some unusual stories." She nods, and the guards begin to search you. You try to resist, but you are held powerless. The talisman is ripped from its place of concealment and handed to Horkana. She recognizes it immediately and laughs with rapturous delight. She turns away and says, "I'm going to the temple. Throw this fool out into the street." You are hustled out of the door of the watch house, and it slams shut the door behind you. You have lost the talisman. So let's just deduct again. Let's deduct that from your thingamybobs.
Didn't like it anyway.
Sour grapes. So, what will you do next now that you're out on the street? Will you go back down Guard Street to Store Street, turn down Smith Street, or walk down the Street of Seven Sins?
Smith Street sounds like there might be a blacksmith shop and armory down there, so I'm going to go there.
Okay. You don't have any gold, though.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, no. Well, so I can't afford to sin on the Streets of Seven Sins either.
Let me just check something. So you're at 78. I just want to double check.
If you're double checking a sec, let me just pop and
Okay.
Get a refill on my tea.
Yep, no worries, mate. You crack on. Get yourself some refreshments. I'll talk to the chat for a bit, and I'll see about whether or not you've actually got any gold to start with, because I don't actually remember. So crack on, mate.
Unless somebody donates me some gold while I'm gone.
That is right, actually. So don't forget, boys and girls at home, a £1 donation on the Stream Elements tipping link in the chat there will grant a provision or some gold. £2 donation will grant a potion. I think that's a random potion. A £3 donation will grant a potion of choice. However, a £5 donation will grant a care package, which means that you will get two of either two provisions and 4 gold, or 4 gold, or a potion of choice and 2 provisions and 4 gold, or the other way round. I can't remember, but it's down in the description. I'm not very good at these yet because I haven't quite figured them out in my head, memorized them, if you get what I mean. But it doesn't look like in here you have any gold. So let's just have a look a little bit further back. Equipment and potions. Start your adventure with the bare minimum of equipment, but you may find or buy other items during your travels. You are armed with a sword and are dressed in leather armor. You have a backpack to hold your provisions and any treasures you may come across. In addition, you may take 1 bottle of magic potion, which will aid you on your quest. You may choose to take a bottle of any of the following, and so that goes on. Unfortunately, though, no, I don't believe that you were granted any. Ooh, someone's made a donation. How lovely of you. Let's take a look and see who it was. Because that was a little bit difficult to see on there, wasn't it? I'm going to have to change that perhaps to more of a contrasted... Oh, no, not StreamYard again. Stream Elements is what I need. There we go. So, who was that? Making a lovely donation there. Greg's going to be ever so pleased when he comes back. A £6 donation from Davyverse, I believe that is. £1 and £5. Greg's choice. I can't face to see him selling his booty on Sin Street. Where did he go, Steve? He's just in the middle of filling up his yeah, he fell down the well. He fell down the well. No, he's just going to get him. Oh, there he is. You'll never guess what happened, Greg.
What happened?
Well, you were not granted any gold or anything by the game.
They took my stats instead.
Yes, someone donated £100 and took 1 from all of your initial stats. No,
awesome.
So you weren't granted any gold in the beginning by the game. However, Davyverse has been kind enough to donate £6 in the form of a £1 donation and a £5 donation. So he's giving you the choice. So the £1 donation gives 1 provision or 2 gold. So what would you like to choose out of that?
2 gold, please.
Okie dokie. So you have gold of 2. Thank you so much, Davyverse, for the donation, by the way.
Yes, thank you very much.
And also, you now either get... so he made a £5 donation. So you can either choose a re-roll, if you want, or you can either choose 2 of either 4 gold or 2 provisions, or it will be 1 potion of choice and either 4 gold or 2 provisions. So you can either choose a potion, or you can choose to have the other things, or a re-roll.
I think my priority right now, I already have a potion.
You do.
I have 10 provisions. but I have no sword, and I only have 2 gold, and sword's probably more than that. So if I go, what, 2 choices, right? So I could get 4 gold and another choice.
Yeah, so it's either 4 gold. Well, you could get 2 times 4 gold. So that would be 8 gold if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple and just go, like, make it up to 10 gold.
Lovely. Okie dokie. Well, Davyverse, thank you so much for the donation. We appreciate your patronage. And you've increased Greg's mere 0 gold to a lovely respectable 10. And I'll just read the message that he said again because you weren't here for it. He said a £1 and £5 donation. Greg's choice. I can't face to see him selling his booty on Sin Street.
Yeah, that didn't occur to me. I was going to Sin Street to indulge, not to make money. Okay, let's go to Smith Street and go shopping.
Okie dokie. Just going to say hello to a couple of people in the chat here. So thank you to Davyverse, who's saying don't die, Greg.
Trying.
And Ref for booty for the booty. Indeed. Welcome to the chat, Ref. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And on we go with the mission. So bring away your adventure sheet. Don't forget, boys and girls, if you wouldn't mind doing all the things and the stuff, you know, like, share, subscribe, do the things, comment down below, you know, do the things and the stuff. And don't forget, if you want to see what the options are for donations in terms of affecting the player's gameplay, then go to the description below the video and the list is there. Okay, so let's crack on.
That's the wrong one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. I had to go back to where we were, so yada yada. 334 and yes, so here we were. So you want to go down Smith Street?
Yeah.
You stride down Smith Street. Next door to a tinker's shop, you see what appears to be an armourer's.
Yes.
Do you wish to go in or pass by?
I'll go in. This is all feeling really familiar. I'm sure I did pretty much this last time.
Perhaps you did. Anyway, inside, working at an anvil, is a brawny man glistening with sweat. He is fashioning the hilt of a sword. Nice. Other finished swords stand in a rack along one side of the shop. Take your pick. 7 gold pieces, he says, without looking up. If you wish to buy one, you may by turning to 160, or thank him and leave, turn to 104.
160.
Okie dokie, I'll just get your adventure sheet up. And we'll deduct 7 gold pieces, leaving you with 3. And you have your sword back, which is nice. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, I think you copied something.
I did, didn't I? Oh, Gordon Bennett. I'll just put it down here for fuck's sake. Nah, it's okay. I'll just put it down here. Sword. There we go.
Sword is at the top. Oh, now I've got 2.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. Oh, it's all right. You've already got one. But, we give you your skill points back.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So there we go. It came in handy, Davey.
Thank you.
Right. On with the show. So, you may buy one if you wish, which you did, so turn to 160. You choose a sword which feels well balanced. It is well-crafted longsword similar to those used by the warrior women. You may restore the 2 skill points you lost if you had your sword taken. You pay the man and leave. Okay. You continue on down Smith Street. There are no shops here, and the street is deserted except for a stooping, cowled figure who looks to be a beggar. He comes up to you and suddenly draws himself up to his full height. Inside the cowl there is nothing, no face, 2 glowing holes suspended in blackness. Your horror at this apparition turns to dread as it hisses a sibilant whisper. Did you think that you could run from death? Give me the talisman. A black-gloved claw reaches out to you. Do you say that you no longer have the talisman, or attack this thing immediately?
Say I no longer have the talisman.
Lies! It hisses, and strikes you with its claw before you can move. A chill numbness spreads from the wound, and you feel as if your lifeblood is being drained away. Lose 1 skill and 2 stamina points. Now you must fight the minion of death. Each time it strikes you, you lose 1 skill point as well as the normal stamina loss. It has a skill of 7 and a stamina of 7. So let me just get your adventure sheet up. And we need to remove 1 skill point, which leaves you with 10, and 2 stamina points, leaving you with 19. And also, every time it cracks you, you have to lose 1 skill point, which I am very sorry for, my dear friend. However, let's enter the skill, which is 7, and the stamina, which is 7, and let's start the battle. So here we go. 2d6 for the enemy, a 6.
That's bad.
And a 3 gives them 16, and 2 for yourself, please.
Whoa!
5 and a 4 gives you 19. Nice. Which
That's
means
better.
you win the attack round, bringing them down to 5 stamina. You want to test your luck?
I do, because
Okay.
the longer this combat goes on, the more chance I've got of losing stats.
You're absolutely right. So 2d6 for the luck roll, please.
Luck roll.
You got to get 11 or below. Easy, easy. So we'll bring your luck down to 10. We'll take another 2 points off the enemy. That brings them down to 3 stamina now. And so if you wouldn't mind, in the next attack round, roll 2d6 for the enemy, please. 6 and a 1 gives them 14. And then 2 for yourself, please. Ooh, a 3 and a 3. 16, in fact.
Is it? No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I lost skill.
But you still won the attack round, brings them down to stamina of 1. Would you like to test your luck?
Yes. Please.
2d6, please, 10 or below. Easy stuff.
Good.
There we go.
Minion of
You've
death.
defeated the enemy, my friend.
I send you back to your master.
Ah, it burns. Ah, oh, my bum. Well done, mate. You beat the minion of death with record time. And so you win.
This is really familiar. I'm thinking of, we did this last time. I bumped into this bugger before.
You did. I believe you
Yeah.
did. Or it may have been a different one on a different street. Because I think last time you had trodden in a man trap, or, you know, like some kind of, you know, bear trap or something. Anyway, you won. 175. Your last blow meets no resistance. The grey cloak billows to the ground in a heap. All is silent except for the sudden keening of the wind. You rest and begin to overcome the shock to your system. If you've lost any skill points, all but 1 are restored. Cautiously, you move on, coming to Silver Street. Well, unfortunately, mate, you did lose a skill point,
Only 1.
but you only lost 1, and it says all but 1. So I'm not going to grant you any skill points back, I'm afraid.
Fair.
Anyway, continuing on, coming to Silver Street. Turning down Silver Street, you are startled by what sounds like men's voices whispering nearby. You soon realise that a trick of the wind is carrying their words to you through a broken piece of pipe which connects a ramshackle house to an open drain. There are 3 of them, and it seems like they are planning to rob the jewellers, which you can plainly see on the bend of Silver Street. There is a shabby staircase leading up to the house, and you creep towards it. Will you go up the staircase, walk quickly to the jewellers, or ignore this and turn onto Store Street?
Well, I remember defending the jewellers. So they're going to attack the jewellers. And he did reward me.
Are these in your notes?
No, I just remember that bit.
And who says memory fades with age?
Yes, mine fades for other reasons. But I'm also curious about other options because I've done that before. If I go up the staircase, I'm kind of in the area, so I might be able to still help. Don't know.
So will you go up the staircase, walk quickly to the jewellers, or ignore this and turn into Store Street?
I'm going to go up the staircase. Oh.
Just as you're about to enter the bare, roofless room, a rotten stare breaks, betraying your presence. Realizing that they may have been overheard, one of the thieves runs off across the nearby rooftop. The other two mean-looking thugs in brown breeches attack you. They try to come at you from different sides, but after springing up the last stair, your footwork is too good for them, and you hold the stairway where they can only come at you one at a time. You must fight them in order of the first thief and the second thief. There's no escape, so you've got to do both of them.
That's actually better than fighting them in the jewelers, because I had to fight 3 of them.
And did we have to do that, like, where you parried blows of? You had to like nominate
I think so, yeah. So it was pretty dangerous.
Well, here we go then.
Good job, I've got a sword. Thanks, Davey. I've been like, come on then, you buggers.
Right, so the first enemy has a skill of 6 and a stamina of 7. Skill of 6, stamina of 7, and the other one has an inverted 7 and 6. So, if you wouldn't mind, please, my dear man, to start the first attack round, 2d6 for the enemy.
First thief. Ooh, he's weak.
Nice. 1 and a 2 gives them 9. And 2 for yourself. Ooh, a 1 and a 4. What does that give you? 15. Nice. You win that attack round, and that brings them down to 5. Would you like to test your luck?
No, I'm going to save that for emergencies.
Next attack round then, please.
Oh, shit.
A 4 and a 5 gives them 15.
Come on, double 6. Oh, fuck.
A 5 and a 2 gives you 17, which means you still win the attack round.
Okay.
And that brings their stamina down to 3. So, would you like to test your luck or carry on?
No, I'm going to save it.
Okie dokie. 2d6.
Oh, God.
A 6 and a 3 gives them 15 again. And 2 for yourself. A 3 and a 1 gives you 14. Oh, unlucky. They win that attack round. Will reduce your stamina to 17. Would you like to test your luck? If you're lucky, I'll reduce. Sorry, if you're lucky, I'll increase your stamina by 1. If you're unlucky, I'll reduce it.
Yeah. Oh, if I'm unlucky, I lose another. No, I won't risk it then.
Okay. 2d6 for the enemy then, please. A 5 and a 5 gives them
No.
16.
No!
Oh, dearie me. A 1 and a 3 gives you 14, which means they win that attack round. Will reduce your stamina down to 15. Would you like to test your luck?
Yes, go on.
Okay, 2d6. You've got to get 9 or below. Oh, no, Greg.
That was not lucky.
That was not lucky. And we've reduced your luck score by 1 to 8. And I have to reduce your stamina by another 1 to 14. Next attack round, 2d6 for the enemy, please. Oh, 6 and a 3 gives them 15. And 2 for yourself.
That's better.
6 and a 5, 21. You win the attack round. Bring them down to 1. Would you like to test your luck?
No.
Okie dokie. 2d6 for the enemy, please.
That's better.
3 and a 2 gives them 11. A 2 and a 2. Going to give you 14. Which means you win the attack round. You've defeated that enemy. Well done. And it's on to the next enemy. So if you would please roll 2d6 for the enemy.
Okay.
A 3 and a 2 gives them 12. A 4 and a 4 gives you 18. You win the attack round.
This one's weaker as well, isn't it?
Only a little. We've brought their stamina down to 4. Sorry, was that roll for luck or a continuing attack round?
Continuing. That's their attack, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's a 5 and a 4 gives them 16. And 2 for yourself, please.
Oh. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Oh, yeah!
5 and a 6 gives you 21 again. You win the attack round. We'll bring them down to 2 stamina. Would you like to test your luck and try to defeat this enemy in one fell swoop?
Yeah, go on, because it's not going to hurt me if I do it, is it?
It won't hurt you, but it will give them 1 back. And unfortunately, you were unlucky, so we will give them 1 back. So we'll increase their stamina back to 3, and I will reduce your luck down to 7. Next attack round, 2d6 for the enemy, please. 6 and a 1 gives them 14. And 2 for yourself, please.
No!
A 3 and a 1 gives you 14. You've parried blows. No problem. No harm, no foul. 2d6 for the enemy, please. A 3 and a 2 gives them 12.
No, roll high.
That'll do. A 6 and a 1 gives you 17. You win the attack round, bringing them down to 1. Would you like to test your luck?
No, I don't.
Okie dokie. 2d6 for the enemy, please. A 6 and a 1 gives them 14. And 2 for yourself. A 6 and a 4. You've won this, mate. You've done it. 20.
Good.
Jobs are good, and congratulations, mate. You've defeated both of the thieves. And there we are. Well done. No problem. You did it. Good job, buddy.
That luck is a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Oh, not off, mate. Not off. Welcome to the chat, Rick. Good to see you, mate. Welcome to our lovely show. We've got Greg doing a fantastic job at the moment. What did you jinx, Davey Verse? That was a pretty good. That was a pretty good round.
In the end.
RNG but has decided that Greg is on the naughty list. Indeed. What's the over-under on Greg losing to an enemy with 1 HP? Well, it can't be any worse than Daramuth did last week. That was just pure... That was a skill, like unmatched skill thing. He lost that skill point, and had he had that one skill point on the majority of his rolls, he'd have killed that Snake Queen easily. But it was just because of that 1 point missing, he kept parrying blows and not getting any advance on her. It really fucking was. I was here, I was playing it with him, and I was really rooting for him, but it was painful to watch. Anyway, you won, so let's carry on. 329. You search the 2 thieves and find 6 gold pieces.
Cool.
Nice. So
they won't be robbing the jeweler, will they?
I dare say they will, my dear friend.
Maybe I should go and rob
it. You continue down Silver Street past the jewelers, which is closed, and turn left into a tree-lined avenue called Booker's Walk. 2 very grand buildings built of blocks of grey stone stand on either side of the road. A group of young people in blue togas, escorted by a white-haired old man in pale blue robes, enters the building opposite. A flag showing books and scrolls is flying from the nearest building. It appears to be a library. Will you see what information the library has to offer, or investigate the other building to find out what the young people are doing?
I'd like to take a trip to the library, I think.
Okie dokie. The entrance hall of the library is filled with desks at which scribes are working, copying scrolls. Reclining on a plush window seat is a wrinkled old fellow in the pale blue robes of a scholar. You feel out of place wearing armour in the quiet of the library, where the stillness is broken only by the scratching of pens. "Welcome to the largest library in Manmarch," says the sage. "Choose any tome or scroll you may wish to peruse. Perhaps I may be of assistance. What is your field of study? Will you ask to read something about the gods, or ask to read about the history of Grey Guilds?"
Seeing as the gods summoned me to this world and sent me to this place, plucked me back from death and then sent me to this place again, I'll read about the gods. Because they just might put a hint in there somewhere for me. So, well, we've been waiting for you.
The sage directs you to the Book of the Gods, a large leather-bound tome inlaid with gold leaf. Turning the gilt-edge pages, you realise that the gods of Orb are many. You recognise a symbol on one of the pages as a token borne by the warrior women. Their goddess is Felcarinla, Sword's mistress of the heavens. She is sworn to oppose Roshaval the Good, god of the paladins. To your excitement... Pardon?
He sounds like my kind of dude.
To your excitement, you discover a reference to the Talisman. Some believe that it can be used to command the undead minions of death. Turning the pages, you come to a reference to the All-Mother, nature herself, preserver of life, who cares for all. Then you see a bizarrely illustrated page dealing with Anarkill, breaker of edifices, who spurns order. You are just learning of Avatar the One, Essence of Light, when you realise that it has grown dark while you are reading. You thank the sage and leave quickly, hoping to find a safe place to sleep. Now, would you like me to make any notes in the adventure sheet, or are you making your own notes there? And if so, is there anything from this page that you wish to make a note of right now?
These are actually the same names as I've got written down from last time, but I didn't go to a library last time, so I must have had a conversation or overheard something.
You definitely went to the library last time. Went to this page, yeah. Because this is the
It's like
only
a
place in
completely
the
new
book that
adventure.
this happens.
Is it? Right. Well, these are most of the notes that I wrote down. So I've actually got these gods. Avatar, the light one. Now, as far as I remember, I fucked up and got caught in a man trap and attacked by a demon, and then I was going to be helped by somebody, but I refused their help because they looked like a beggar.
Let's find out. You leave the building and continue on down Booker's Walk. The streets are already deserted and there are few lights in this part of the city. You search for the welcoming light of the inn, or of an inn. Then, without warning, the steel teeth of a hidden man-trap snap shut around your leg, ripping your flesh. You
Groundhog Day.
Terrible... Pardon?
Groundhog Day.
Yes. Well, you were transported back to the beginning of the game. Kind of. Anyway, you're in terrible pain again. Lose 2 stamina points. So let's just sort that out first on your adventure sheet. Incidentally, you can eat some of your provisions right now.
Oh, yeah. It's 1 per stamina, is it?
No, so each provision provides 4 stamina.
Okay.
And you have 10. Your initial stamina is 21, and your current stamina is 12.
I'll eat 2.
Okie dokie. We'll reduce your provisions to 8. And that means 4, 8, bringing you back up to 20. Lovely. Okay.
That's a bit healthier.
Looking a bit healthier, yeah. So you did lose 2 stamina points, but shadowy figures loom out of the murk all around you. Their faces glow with sickly pallor in the moonlight. They are wearing black robes clasped at the neck by shrunken human skulls. Do you have the Talisman of Death? Nope. So we'll go to 150. We are the priesthood of death, says one of the figures.
Cheerfully.
We've come for what is ours. I thought I'd change it up a bit, rather, you know.
How sinister of them. I didn't see that coming.
Your arms are held and you are searched. Realizing that you are not carrying the talisman, they step back. One of them strikes you across the face. Ouch. Where is it, hidden worm? Suddenly, the clatter of hooves disturbs the menacing priests. A large group of riders carrying torches comes into sight, and the priests melt back into the shadows as silently as they came. The riders of the watch halt before you. You're in a pretty pickle. That's one less problem for us tonight. Hey, girls! This provokes a gale of laughter. Ha 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 ha! But you fail to see the funny side as they ride off, leaving you held fast in the jaws of the trap. Turn to 128. You are left alone to wonder how the lawkeepers of this city could be so cruel as to leave an innocent person in such dire straits. You tear feverishly at the trap, terrified of some footpad slitting your throat for his own vile amusement. Soft footsteps approach. You look over at your shoulder and see a man. Here, he says, let me rescue you from this trap. He steps on the release catch, which has been out of your reach, and the trap springs open. You step free, and he walks along by your side. Have you a place to stay tonight? Perhaps you would like to sleep in my humble abode, he asks, looking sideways at you. You are curious that he should be walking the streets alone at night, but you are also exhausted. Will you accept his offer and go home with him, or decline his offer?
Well, I declined his offer last time, and bad things happened. Sleeping in a ruined building.
Maybe. Yeah, but you also got the holy sword, if you remember, that way. Davey Verse is right. Yes, you rejected him last time, just as you said.
Yeah.
Pickle, girls.
I'll go with him. I'll trust in fate. The gods
Must be Paul Hadouken's girls if they left him in a pickle. Sorry. Where are we? Gay for the stay, Greg. Or maybe less bad things, says Steve.
Yeah.
So are you going to go with him?
I will.
You're going to get bummed. No.
Well, I mean, metagaming it, this series of books and aimed at 12-year-old boys.
Yes.
So probably not.
You're not going to get bummed. Well, today you may very well be if it was written today.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It wouldn't be an option. It would be like, turn left, you get bummed. Turn right, you get bummed. First page.
The man's house is a small stone bungalow. He leads you into it, of course, he leads you into his bedroom and offers you a straw-filled mattress behind a curtain. Thankful for the chance to rest, you go to sleep, asking without any questions. You sleep deeply and regain 4 stamina points. You wake to find that your host is sitting watching you.
Weird.
I hope you're well-rested. You talked in your sleep. He smiles at you and says, "Do you need help? Has someone stolen something from you? How did you come to be trapped alone on a street late at night?" So, before you answer any questions by this interrogator of gayness, I will bring your current stamina up to 21. Perhaps it was a little bit premature to offer you those provisions.
Never mind.
But nevertheless, you're here now. You have made your straw bread, you have laid in it, and you have gained an extra stamina point. Anyway, if you want to tell him the whole story and ask him for his advice, turn to 98. If you would prefer to say what that you cannot answer, turn to 92.
98. I'll tell him the whole story.
You tell him everything and he listens with growing amazement. He introduces himself as Apothecus, a sage of history. I have heard of the Talisman of Death. You must recover it at all costs. He suggests that you enlist the help of the Thieves Guild, and he doesn't think that you can recapture it alone. It will be in the Temple of Felcarinla by now, I'll warrant. Orkana, the High Priestess, will be holding it there. Go to the Red Dragon Inn on the Street of Seven Sins. It's dangerous, but you may make contact with the thieves there. He gives you a breakfast of savoury pancakes and invites you to a dinner that evening, saying that he will try to discover more to aid you. In the meantime, he says, take these. He hands you 5 pieces of gold and a ring. It is a ring which increases your skill at arms. Add 1 skill to your score while wearing this ring. As you leave, he gives you a jade rose. When you return this evening, show this and I will know that you are not a shape changer. You thank him for his help and leave the bungalow. So, let's sort out your adventure sheet here. So, first things first. He gives you breakfast, yada yada. Gives you 5 pieces of gold. Nice. Brings you up to 14. And a ring of, what was it? A ring of gayness?
It's a skill +1 ring.
The Jade Rose ring, okay.
No, it's the Jade Rose is separate to the ring.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay. So, Jade Rose, ring, skill, +1. So, do you want to wear the ring?
Yes.
Okie dokie. That brings your skill back up to 11. Nice.
Awesome.
Excellent. Right then. Cracking on. So, will you go to the Red Dragon Inn or head for the temple?
go for the Red Dragon Inn because I need the Thieves Guild.
You take a side street which leads you towards the Street of Seven Sins, and you are almost pushed aside by a couple of students in blue togas. They are quarrelling and begin fighting in front of you. It seems that one of them disagrees violently with something the other has said. As they tussle, you notice that the angry young man has dropped a small brass tiger charm. Will you interrupt the quarrel and give them the charm back, ignore them and go on your way, or pick up the charm?
I'm going to ignore the charm.
Oh, I wonder why that might be.
Because I remember it from last time. It fucked me up.
However, are you going to interrupt the quarrel and give them the charm back, or ignore them and go on your way?
I'm going to ignore them and go on my way. They seem like trouble.
Little bastards in blue togas. I'll clip them round the ear roll. Anyway, stay off my lawn. You come out of the street. You come out into the Street of Seven Sins and soon find the Red Dragon Inn. Steps lead downward, and the sound of raucous laughter floats up from the smoke-filled gloom below. You enter and walk over to the only part of the dive where it is light enough to make anything out. Passing tables and stools, you come to a bar, behind which stands the bulky proprietor of the inn. Do you have the brass tiger charm? No. So we'll turn to 3. You ask the barman for a mug of ale. While he pours you your drink, your eyes adjust to the gloom and you survey his customers. You have never seen a more disreputable bunch of villainous-looking cutthroats. The barman says, "That'll be a piece of gold." You hand over your money, and as you replace your money pouch, a dozen pairs of eyes watch closely. The only one who doesn't watch is a stooped old man cleaning slops off an empty table. So let me just reduce your gold score from 14 to 13. I don't need to show you, I'm just telling you. So what will you do? Will you talk to the barman, walk over to the old man, or approach 6 surly looking men who look like thieves?
Talk to the barman. It's his place, so they won't attack me there unless he's working with them.
The barman says, "You're not like my usual customers. A rough lot coming here most days. These fellows don't rely on charity for a crust, you know." Will you try to make friends and ask him how he keeps order, or ask him how they got their money?
Ask him how he keeps order. He probably works with them. It's like,
I manage mostly, he says, but it puts me in mind sometime, not so long ago, when things really got out of hand. He goes on to tell a story about Heimdall the Mighty. It seems that Heimdall was one of the strongest and most unpleasant men ever to have swilled beer in the Red Dragon. One day, a stranger, Tuchev, accepted his invitation to a... that doesn't make sense. Accepted his invitation of an arm of... accepted his invitation of arm wrestling. Yes, that makes more sense. Heimdall lost for the first time in his life. He was furious and threatened awful reprisals if Tuchev ever returned. A few nights later, Tuchev did return and began methodically to insult Heimdall and 2 of his friends. In the inevitable fight which followed, Tuchev killed them all and carved his initials on Heimdall's forehead. He worships the god of an insane chaos, Anarkill, and since then none has dared gainsay him here, even though they are all thieves and murderers. You decide the time has come to introduce yourself to the thieves, and you walk over to their table. So have you got all the information that you want from this page?
Yeah, I think so. Heimdall the Mighty is dead.
Yeah, and
let me write this.
Tuchev worships the god of inane chaos, Anarkill. You introduce yourself to the motley group of villains. They don't reply. You persevere, saying that you only wish to speak to them for a few moments. One of them, whose face is marked by a jagged scar running from ear to chin, fixes you with a stare and grates.
We don't care for the law, so watch yourself. You could be dead before you knew we moved.
So will you ask them the way to the Thieves Guild, say you need help with some unfinished business, or boldly retort that their threats don't scare you?
The middle one, about the unfinished business.
They appear interested and offer you some ale. You accept a mug and do not drink. You suggest that in helping you they might gain a greater deal. They agree to meet you and tell you to come to the Thieves Guild at midday tomorrow via the disguised coal hole in Hornbeam Road. You begin to chat to them. Two newcomers enter the Red Dragon ale cellar. The first is a very tall, thin, wiry man whose frame is draped in a black cloak. The only hint of colour is his hair, very curly, and dyed bright corn yellow. The second is a handsome young woman dressed in a bizarre patchwork of armour. The barman mutters under his breath and forces his face into a smile. "Tuchev, Cassandra, welcome!" he shouts obsequiously. The thieves move away from you and sit at another table. Tuchev strolls to the bar and orders a drink. Cassandra sits opposite you at your table. She ignores you and Tuchev joins her. Will you say nothing, get up and leave the ale cellar, or introduce yourself?
Get up and leave.
Interesting choice.
Well, I fought him last time.
Okay.
And he's a double-eyed bastard and his girlfriend's hard as well.
Stay, says Tuchev, arrogantly gesturing you back to your seat. Will you keep going, or do as he bids?
I'll keep going. We're going to end up in a fight anyway.
You don't walk out on Tuchev! They leap up, whipping out their blades, and move to attack.
Right.
Tuchev's sword is almost as tall as you are, and he wields it negligently in one hand. Cassandra glows coldly. Each time she put me fucking teeth back in. Each time she hits, you must subtract 3 stamina points instead of the usual 2.
These fuckers.
If you can reduce Cassandra's stamina to 4 or less, she drops back and Tuchev moves in to take over. If you then reduce Tuchev's stamina to 4 or less, we turn to 3-5-3. Okay, so let's get your...
Attack them one at a time or both at the same time?
No, you oh, hang on. Let's think about this. Yeah, because it's not saying that you... It's not saying that you have to fight them one at a time, so you have to nominate each of them on
I'm
each
trying to
attack round.
damage. Oh,
So,
and can I roll to parry as well?
so yes, well that's the idea behind it. So you have to nominate which one you're going to attack in each attack round, and then for the other, you have to roll for them. But if they, if you score a successful attack round, then it's just as if you've parried. However, if they score a successful attack round, it's as though they've damaged you. So,
Okay.
let's figure this out then. Tuchev has 10 and 12. And Cassandra has 9 and 10. Right. So she has the weaker attack and stamina. Tuchev has the stronger constitution. So Are you going to nominate Chuchev or Cassandra?
Chuchev.
Right, okay, so 2d6 for the enemy, please. 5 and a 1 gives them 16. Oh, hang on, let me just delete these. There we go. So 16. And if you can roll 2 for yourself, please. A 2 and a 1 gives you 14, which means that he wins that attack round. And now you also have to roll for her as well. So we'll reduce your stamina to 19. 2d6 for the enemy, please. A 3 and a 5 gives her 17. And 2 for yourself, please. 4 and a 4 gives you 19. You win the attack round, which means you've parried blows. Next attack round, which person are you going to nominate to attack?
Did you take the stamina off? Oh, I suppose you did, yeah.
Didn't need to because it was this. So how it works, I'll just remind you again. You nominate for the person who, if you win a successful attack round, you can deduct points from their stamina. Then you must battle the other person. But even if you win a successful attack round on them, they don't subtract stamina from their score. But if they win a successful attack round, then we deduct it from yours.
Okay.
It's a bit of a shit situation, I get it. But nevertheless, hang on. You haven't nominated, so who are you nominating? Chuchev again, or Cassandra
Chuchev
this
again.
time?
I'm sticking with Chuchev because
Cassandra,
she does a lot of damage, but she's secondary, and if I get her beaten down, then I'm going to have to fight the other guy anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to parry her and keep attacking him.
Okay, well, you rolled a 5 and a 2, and that gives them 17. So if you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. 5 and 2, that gives you 18. You win that attack round.
Cool.
Well done. That brings their stamina down to 10. Do you want to test your luck?
To do extra damage, yes.
It'll do extra damage, but you've got to get 7 or less on 2d6.
Oh, yeah. It's getting pretty low. So, well, not low, but mid. So 50-50 more than anything, isn't it? So I'll save that for if I've got an important roll to make.
Okay, so, well, you've still got to try to roll for Cassandra now. So 2d6 for the enemy, please.
Okay, nice
and
low.
That's better. 2 and a 2 gives her 13.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice. 6 and a 5 gives you 22, which means you've parried blows. Next attack round, 2d6 for the enemy, please.
Oh, nice and low. This is Chuchev.
That gives Chuchev 13 again. And 2 for yourself, please. 3 and a 1. Gives you 15. That means you still win the attack round. We'll bring their stamina down to 8. You want to test your luck?
No, I'm going to say
okay. 2d6 for Cassandra, please.
Oh, no!
Oh, shit. 6 and a 6 gives them 21. You need to get a 5 and a 6 or a 4 and a 6 at the very least in order to parry this. A 3 and a 1 gives you 15. I'm afraid we'll have to reduce your stamina down to 17.
Is this Cassandra or Chuchev?
Yeah, so she won the attack round, so it still reduces your stamina.
By 3 though, with that weapon though.
Oh, shite, yes. Shut up, you could have got away with that.
No, because then I'd be cheating.
Well, there we go. It's reduced it down to 16 instead. However, you can test your luck if you like. If you're lucky, I'll add a stamina back. However, if you're unlucky, I'll reduce it by another stamina point.
Even more? No thanks. You're all right.
Okie dokie. So
okay.
you're nominating Tutev?
I am.
Okay, 2d6 for them, please. 3 and a 5 gives them 18. And 2d6 for yourself. A 2 and a 5 gives you 18, which means you've parried blows. No harm, no foul. However, if you can roll now for Cassandra, please. 2d6.
Mid.
A 3 and a 4 gives her 16. And 2 for yourself, please.
Oh, God.
3 and a 3 gives you 17. You win the attack round, you parried blows. No harm, no foul.
Just.
Next attack round, 2d6 for Tutev.
Okay, lost the button.
6 and a 1 gives him 17. And 2 for yourself. A 3 and a 2 gives you 16. You lose that attack round, I'm afraid. So we'll reduce your stamina down to 14. Do you want to test your luck?
I do not.
Okay, if you can roll for Cassandra, please. 2d6. 5 and a 1 gives her 15.
Okay.
And 2 for yourself. A 3 and a 4 gives you 18. You've parried blows. Well done. Okay, 2d6 for Tuchev, please. Oh dear. Gives them 19. And 2 for yourself, please.
Bugger.
Oh no, Greg.
That's shit.
15. Which means you lose the attack round. Will bring you down to 12 stamina. Test your luck.
No, I'm good.
Okay, roll for Cassandra, please. 2d6.
Oh, yeah.
That's better. 2 and a 1 gives her 12. Nice. 6 and a 3 gives you 20. You've parried blows. So, on with the battle. I assume that you're rolling for Tuchev. So, 2d6, please. 6 and a 2 gives them 18. A 5 and a 5. It is. It's much better. Gives you 21, which means you win the attack round. Will reduce their stamina to 6. Do you want to test your luck? If you're lucky, I reduce their stamina down to 4, and then we turn the page.
Yeah.
If you're unlucky, they get a stamina point back.
I've got to roll under 7. I'll roll
7 or below.
Ah!
Unlucky, mate. I am very sorry, but we'll reduce your current luck to 6, and we have to bring their stamina back up to 7. And also now you have to roll for Cassandra, please. A 5 and a 3 gives her 17. And a 3 and a 6 gives you 20. So you win the attack round. So you've parried blows. I'll just have to get rid of those to carry on the next attack round. 2d6 for Tuchev, please.
I'm going to have to eat some provisions if I survive this.
Perhaps you will, perhaps you won't. That gives them 19 anyway. So Tuchev gets 19. If you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. Oh.
No.
A 3 and a 3 gives you 17. They win that attack round, bringing you down to 10. Would you like to test your luck at all?
No.
Okay. For Cassandra, please.
I forgot.
4 and a 2 gives them 15. And 2d6 for yourself, please. 5 and 2 gives you 18. You parried. No harm, no foul. Carry on with the next attack round. 2d6 for Tuchev, please. 1 and a 6 gives them 17.
It's too high.
And 2 for yourself.
See?
It's not... the RNG gods are definitely fucking about with you at the moment, I'm afraid.
They like to keep me on my toes.
Now, before we carry on, I just want to remind people that if you donate £2, then Greg will be granted a random potion based on a dice roll. If you donate £3, he will get a potion of choice with a 1 in 6 chance of that being luck. But the added bonus is that he's allowed to use that potion in battle. So at this point, if anyone wants to donate £2 or £3, that potion, whichever one he gets, can be used in battle. The £2 will give him a random potion based on a dice roll. The £3 donation will give him a potion of choice. So just remember that. Anyway, on with the battle. If you can roll for Cassandra, please. 2d6. 2 and 3 gives her 14. And 2 for yourself, please. 4 and a 3 gives you 18. You've parried blows. On with the next attack round.
It doesn't seem to be too bad. You know, parrying Cassandra seems to be fairly consistent, but it's getting low roll.
Which is, it's good, really, because, you know, I mean, she packs a mighty blow.
Yeah, so this is...
Yeah, 2d6, please.
Oh, that's not too bad.
2 and a 4 gives them 16.
Come on, double 6.
I believe that's 17, 6 and a 1. Oh, 18. Okay, you win the attack round.
Awesome.
Which means that we've brought their stamina down to 5 now. Now, if you wish to test your luck, you've got to get 6 or below on 2d6. However, it will bring their stamina down below 4.
Go on.
Okay, then 2d6, and we'll roll for your luck. Please be 6 or below.
Ah!
Oh, no! Oh, mate!
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christo.
Oh, well, I can hit him for 2 next round.
Yeah, if you win the next attack round, we'll bring his stamina down to 4 anyway, and yeah, that's that. So,
parry Cassandra.
So, yes, 2d6 for Cassandra, please. I'll take that as a 3 and a 3, which gives her 15. And if you can roll 2 for yourself.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
6 and a 5 gives you 22.
Good.
You've parried blows. Right, on to Chutev. 2d6, please.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully the last round. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Fucking hell.
Oh, shit.
And 2 for yourself. I'm afraid looks like they've won that attack round. So we'll have to bring you down to 6 stamina. And do you want to test your luck and try and get some of your stamina back?
No.
Okay. 2d6 for Cassandra, please. 3 and a 5 gives her 17. And 2 for yourself, please.
Rubbish.
Oh, mate.
She's going to do me.
Well, it's not looking great because she wins that attack round. That's brought your stamina down to 3. So, with that, 2d6 for Chuchev, please.
Getting close. Ooh.
Nice. Snake eyes.
Chuchev's gonna
12. I think we're winning this one, mate. You made it through.
By the skin of my
3
teeth.
and a 4 gives you 18, which means that you win the attack round. We've brought his stamina down to 4. So let's go back to the game book. And turn to 353. Your last blow has drawn a gout of blood from Chuchev's side. He jumps back and says, "Insta-kill, breaker of edifices, aid me!" He's calling upon his god. Before you can strike the killing blow, the cellar starts to shake. An earthquake opens, great cracks in the floor. There is a roar of tumbling masonry, and the inn is filled with dust. In the confusion, Chuchev and Cassandra make good their escape. When the quake has stopped, you climb the steps and leave. So let's turn off the battle music. It's the battle is over for now, and I wonder if you will meet again in the future. But until then, let's turn to 289. You step out, squinting against the bright light of the late afternoon sun. Add 1 luck point for visiting the Red Dragon Inn and living to tell the tale. You are back on the Street of Seven Sins. If you have met a sage and he has invited you to dinner, you may turn to 229. If you have not been invited or you do not wish to go, you may go down a side street called Cobbler's Walk. Or you may go down Merchant Street heading northwest. So, let me just add 1 luck point.
I'm just going to have to pop to the loo a sec.
Yep, no worries, mate. I'll see what the chat are saying. Let's go back a bit. Sounds like Greg is going... You see, this is the issue with going back to messages that are ages old. They're a little bit stale now. Sounds like Greg is going to be giving some Death's Head. Yes, perhaps. I think that's what happened last time as well. He entered into a room and there was like this floating skull. They should have made adult versions of these games. I mean, look, for for teen adventures, they're pretty, pretty dark. I don't know what much more you would put into a game like this for an adult. I mean, I was very surprised to find out that they were made for young adults, considering the content of them and etc. What more could you put in these games apart from making it a little bit more gory or making it a little bit more lustful, perhaps? Does Greg have enough olive oil in his provisions? I provide the olive oil, Rick. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, but turning right might mean use lube. Well, it didn't. It didn't, did it?
Right.
His name is Hairlip, a sage of history. It sounded like Cass attacks first, and when at 4 moves back, allow the other to take over. Kind of, but I don't give a fuck. The game is over. Well, the battle is over now, and I'm the dungeon master round here.
I fought them twice now.
You have, yes. What's this about? What's that? Trumpets. Is that Jericho's horn? Is that what they are? Trumpets?
Yeah. You've got the vowels.
This is like the end boss. It's a pretty hefty battle, I will say.
Talking of which, look at my stamina. I need to eat.
You do, but if you want to wait, perhaps
I might get some.
If you're going to go and visit this dude,
Yeah,
then maybe he may offer you some help. Who knows?
Yeah.
But welcome, Tomby, to the chat. Thank you for joining us. I hope your evening is going well. I hope you're enjoying doing your little bits of work, if that is indeed what you're doing. Nevertheless, welcome to dinner, eh? Rubbed his LED salt lamp. Yes. Tomby rubbed the LED salt lamp and it caused Greg to go for a piss. And Abe says he's just doing a little ska punk tune with those trumpets. Indeed. Anyway, so I've given you your luck point back.
Okay.
And so now you've got a choice of either going to dinner with the dude who you met earlier, who gave you his ring and a flower.
Yeah, I need to show him the flower to get back in, don't I?
That's right. Otherwise, you can go down Cobbler's Walk or Merchant Street. So what do you want to do?
Go to the dinner.
On your way towards the sage's house, a small boy runs up to you and asks if you'd like to help a very clever scholar and make some money doing it. It won't take long, he adds, tugging at your sleeve. Do you want to thank him but decline and go on your way, or will you go with the boy?
I will ignore the boy and go on my way.
That's right, little bastard. Get out of here.
Shove him in the face, actually. Get away from me, brat. Chin.
You come to the door of the sage's house and knock. After a few moments, a manservant opens the door. Jeeves, perhaps. You explain that you have come to see the sage. The manservant asks you for the token. Do you have the token? You do.
Yes.
Yes, so we turn to 6. The servant says, "Ah, yes, you are expected. Please come in." You follow him into the parlour. The dining table is laid for 3. Apothecus rises to greet you and introduces you to his friend Diodorus, a sage who is an expert on travel between the planes of existence. He tells you that there are portals or gates allowing travel between Orb and other worlds.
I know.
He suspects that you may have been brought here from Earth to Orb by means of such a portal. When you recover the talisman, he says, you must leave Grey Guilds and walk southeast until you come to the Great Plateau. Mount Starreach, the tallest mountain on the plateau, has at its summit one such of these portals, through which you must pass if you wish to return to Earth. And now to more immediate matters, says Apothecus. You can leave the city by the postern gate in the cemetery. If you get into serious trouble, you may be able to call on the All-Mother for aid. To do so, cry, "All-Mother, Nature herself, preserve me." He makes you repeat the words and commit them to memory. Note them on your adventure sheet. He explains that the All-Mother, fountain of all life, the opposite of death. She may be prepared to help you, but only once, at the time of your greatest need. However, remember this. No deity can intervene in another's temple. You thank them both and turn in early after the sumptuous meal of peacock basted in spirits of Ra and other exotic dishes. You wake up refreshed, gain 4 stamina points. You bid Apothecus farewell, thanking him for all his help and hoping that you won't let him down. You set out to find the Thieves Guild. So let's add those stamina points, 4 stamina points to your total, bringing you back up to 7. Would you like to eat any of your provisions?
Yeah, I'll have, so it's 4, is it? I'll have another 2.
Okie dokie, that brings you up to 15 stamina. Oh, hang on. I brought it down to 2 there. So it was at 8. Now you're at 6. So your current stamina is 15. Are you sure you don't want to eat any more provisions?
Yeah, actually, go on. I'll have.
If you eat one more, it'll bring you up to 19.
Yeah, don't really want to overdo it. Okay, I'll have one more. Do I not have the Jade Rose now? I guess.
No, and I don't think you need it, mate, quite frankly.
Okay.
So
all right, that's looking a bit better.
We'll take the Jade Rose. You've still got the Ring of Skill, 13 gold, and 5 provisions. Would you like to take your Potion of Luck at any point?
Yeah, I was just thinking if we're resetting the stats, the low luck is really useless. It's more of a curse.
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah, I will use the Potion of Luck.
Okie dokie. We will increase your initial stamina to 13 and bring your luck back up to 13. There you go.
Good.
So there we go. We've reset all of your stats, pretty much. And it is on to find the Thieves Guild. I think this was a good place to do your halfway point. Sort of refresh. You know, this was a good halfway point in the game. You've just had a big battle with your boy Tuchev and Cassandra. You've been back to the Sage's house. You've got a bit more information. You know where you're heading now. Yeah. Danzig did it better. I don't understand what that means. and now for something completely homosexual. Yes.
How long do you want to go with this? Because we started an hour earlier than usual, didn't we?
We did. Well, that is entirely upon you, really. The minimum is 2 hours. I don't really have a maximum, but I try to keep it to about 3 hours. So if you want to keep going until 12 o'clock, we can do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, does that sound good? Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So let's crack on then. More immediate matters. Turn to 64 to find the Thieves Guild. As you set off, you see a small group of people clustered around a man wearing a flowing grey cloak and one dangling gold earring. He's making huge bunches of flowers appear and disappear to cries of delight and amusement from the crowd. Will you try to find a way into the Thieves Guild, try to regain the talisman on your own, or stay and watch the magic?
Go to the Thieves Guild.
Jolly good. A wise decision, if I may say so.
Don't want to get pickpocketed by his assistant.
Yes. Or you might be thinking of a different game.
Yeah, probably. That's what
that
I would do if I was running it. I would have a wizard doing a show and then pickpockets ripping off the crowd.
Have you been told about the storm drain? If you have not, if you have, turn to 183. If you have not, turn to 149.
Now, that's a difficult question because I did go in the storm drain in the first run through.
You did, but this time, I believe you were told about a coal chute.
A coal chute, yeah.
So 149 it is. You turn left down Hornbeam Road or the coal hole. You see what looks like a coal cellar at the back of a dilapidated warehouse. You duck into it and find a small hidden, I think that's supposed to say small door, yes. Small door. Live editing, folks. Hidden on the other side of the pile of coal. You crawl down the chute and... What the fuck? There we go. You crawl down the chute and out into a small passageway that winds for some distance beneath the city. You come to a door and push it open. You step into a magnificently furnished room. Evidently, the Thieves' Guild lacks nothing. A group of men is waiting for you, lounging on sofas. Some of them you recognize from the Red Dragon Inn. In particular, the one with a scar running from ear to chin. Scarface looks up at you and... Scarface looks you up and down for a moment. Then he says, "Right, I'll get the Guildmaster. We'll see what he has to say." There's an uneasy silence before he returns with another man. Scarface says, "This is Vagrant, Guildmaster of the Thieves." Vagrant is a handsome, middle-aged man wearing an ermine jacket. Twirling his mustache, he asks you the purpose of your visit. Will you say you need help stealing something, you want to steal the Talisman of Death, or you will lead them to a hoard of priceless jewellery?
They were pretty supportive of me last time, weren't they?
They were.
I'll tell them about my mission and say I need to take this Talisman of Death then.
There is a hushed silence spoken by Vagrant. "That is indeed beyond price," he suddenly barks out. He suddenly barks out an order. "We'll mount an expedition before they move the talisman. It is market day, a good time. Scarface, Jemmy the Rat, Bloodheart, and young Lord Min, you'll accompany our friend here." Some hours later, when they have finished their preparations, you set off. As you leave, you see a piece of graffiti scrawled in blood on a wall. "There is no honor among thieves." You resolve to be on your guard. Turn to 241. And if you remember, last time we took this exact path and you told us about the...
Yeah. The illustration
the
in the
yes.
Dungeon Master's Guide, yeah.
So, carrying on, Scarface leads you through a maze of back alleys into a building that Jemmy the Rat tells you is a safe house. You climb onto the roof and continue running across the rooftops of the city. Soon you are on top of a tall house, just below the top of the temple to Felcarimla. Bloodheart, a hulking silent fellow, takes a rope and a grappling hook from his shoulder. He effortlessly throws it round the top of one of the temple's columns. He secures his end to a chimney stack and walks across the tightrope that he has created. You all manage to cross hand over hand and join him in the temple eaves. Jemmy the Rat, a wiry man with fingers like spider's legs, finds a skylight and, true to his name, prizes off the bars and picks the lock. Reaching inside, he disarms a trap containing a poison dart. You marvel at his nimble-fingered skill. They lower a rope and you all drop down to the top of a staircase. You catch sight of an old serving man passing a doorway on the landing. The others have not noticed him. Will you silence him in case he's seen you, or ignore him hoping he didn't see you? Now, this point in the game is getting very close to where you died last time, so please try to remember.
But we've gone in a different way because I
don't think you did you?
I don't know.
This is the only way into the temple in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, if you take the Thieves Guild route.
I'll silence him.
Okay. So be careful here, because these are where the decisions were made to, go one way or the other. Will you silence him? So you are going to silence him, sorry. You creep up behind the old man as he shuffles along the corridor. Will you use the pommel of your sword to try to knock him out, or strike him down with your sword?
Yeah, knock him out, 206.
You strike the old temple servant across the back of his neck with the pommel of your sword, and he collapses soundlessly. You go to tie him up. Good work, says Lord Min, a small, agile young man. Now I'll finish it. He steps forward with his dagger, meaning to slit the man's throat. Will you stop him or let him kill the old man?
I'll stop him because I could have killed him myself. I knocked him out for a purpose.
You reach out and knock the young thief's hand away. He drops his dagger, which clatters noisily all the way down the stairs. Sentimental fool, he snaps. The guards will have heard that. He draws another dagger from his boot. Hurry, we have little time now. Oh, hang on. Hurry, we have little time now, says Scarface. You hurry on. You are padding silently across the landing towards the stair which leads down when a loud pealing of bells fills the air. The alarm, snarls Scarface. You freeze. Looking back, you are astonished to find that you cannot see the thieves who you thought were behind you. All you can see are shadows. You are on your own. Will you go back to find the thieves or run down the stairs ahead of you?
I will go back to find the thieves.
You run back into the room with the skylight, but there is nothing to be seen. The rope is gone and the skylight is shut. You hear the tramp of feet coming up the stairs. You look around desperately, but there is nowhere to hide. 10 of the warrior women burst in. You fight valiantly, but there is too many of them. You are overwhelmed and slain. And
Wow.
we are back
Deja vu.
to paragraph 109. And at this point, my dear friend, where's it gone? Where's it gone? There it is. I'm going to end the journey because we would be ending in half an hour anyway.
Yeah.
You haven't necessarily died again. You get to choose on your next adventure on the show.
Oh. You see, I keep doing this to guarantee that I get a return invite. Yes.
However, well done, my dear friend.
Thanks. I got
You've
as far
managed-
as I did last time.
You managed to completely get back to the beginning. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to say, do you want to take the choice that you did last time, or are you going to die? So rather than
Well, what happens
give
if
you the
die? 'Cause
option,
you just start off in the same position, in the same part of the plot.
kind of, but we re-roll all of your stats.
Yeah, because I've got quite good stats.
You do have quite good
Let's have a look
stats.
at the sheet a sec.
So if you choose to go the way that you did at the beginning of this show, all of your stats will be returning to normal. It will be 11 current skill, 21 current stamina. Your luck will go back down to 12, but you will have 12 current luck. You will have your backtrack back. You will have no gold. You will have 10 provisions, and you will have your potion of luck, and you will have the talisman back.
Yes, I will probably continue this story because it makes sense if this is what the gods are doing, that I'm having to redo it all. So I may as well keep the stats going because it's the same character.
It is. It's the exact same character. Anyway, let's get back to the intro cam. Well, Greg, you've done it again.
Almost exactly
I did tell you. perhaps it may be better to kill that poor bastard next time.
Maybe.
So if you can remember,
probably let him live twice.
if you can remember the choices that you made next time, or at least go back and watch this episode before you come on next time, it may refresh your memory as to what you did. He was doing so well, Steve. Didn't he do well?
That's because I played it through one time and I knew how to avoid the bad mistakes I made last time. So I'm like, no, I'm not picking up that charm. No, I'm just going to completely ignore it. Oh, do you want this shiny thing? No, I don't want that shiny thing.
However, it may mean that you have to fight Tutev and Cassandra again in the next game. If you choose to go that way, of course.
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
I tried to go in exactly the opposite direction at the beginning, and I ended up there. So,
ooh, that's dirty. It sure is. Never trust a thief.
It's annoying as well because each time I've died, it's been out of my control. It's not been in a combat. It's just been like, oh yeah, and then like you're overwhelmed at the end. But is it?
Yeah. There is a way to navigate that temple, and like I said,
what I should have done is thought, like strictly speaking, they are followers of Fel Corinla, and she's the goddess of evil. So any of her retainers should be evil too. So I should have thought of that and killed him.
Maybe you should have.
Yeah,
but there's nothing you can do about it now.
No. Oh, right.
Well, I guess. No,
I haven't got
we'll leave it there.
And I'm dead. Yeah.
Indeed, Crimson. Deja vu. Where are we? Kadath Boomerang Gaming. Oh, it's Grizzled Entertainment here. When did you get here, buddy? Oh, you've literally just got here.
Good timing.
Yeah, unfortunately, mate, Greg's gotten back to the exact same spot as he did in his last...
But I took the opposite choice and died as well. So, like...
Yeah. Them beaches gonna get ya. So, next time, maybe you ought to kill that poor bastard. Or if you don't want to take the sort of moral blame for it, you can still pummel him and let the thief kill him.
The other guy do it. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's the way through. Or maybe you could go the same way as you did last time, which was down the stairs. But there are other choices at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, I hid behind that curtain, I think, before.
But unfortunately, for now, thus is the end of your adventure.
We've reached the end of the corridor with a pit at the bottom with lots of spikes in it.
Well, I would like to say thank you again, Greg, for coming on.
My pleasure, as always.
We're going to put you in the back rooms in a minute to say goodbye to the chat. But before then, if you would like to, please shill your wares.
Oh, I don't really have any. I'll be on Hump Day Podcast on Wednesday as a guest with Tomby, and that's about it. I'll just leech off Tomby now.
Do you have a server that's public? Conan server?
Yes, the Conan server. Yeah, I'd actually forgotten. It's been getting a bit quiet recently, but yeah, it's stable, going well. Got a few. Yeah, it's a 30-slot server, so it is open to people. So,
is there a name or an address or something that you can give me so that I can post it in the chat? I don't. No. I was going to post the name of it or whatever in the chat.
I've got a trailer.
You've got a trailer?
Yeah, Viper made it. It's really
when you
heavily
say you've
modded.
got a trailer, you mean like a video trailer?
Yeah. Hold on.
Or you mean like a caravan in your backyard?
A video trailer.
Is that what it's called, Abe? Age of Dragons?
Age of Dragons, yeah, that's the server. Oops.
So for those of you who actually play Conan Exiles, Greg has his own server which he set up called Age of Dragons. Marionettes. I don't think I get the reference. Where are you sending this trailer? Is it on Discord?
No, I put it in the chat.
Are you a mod?
Posted. No, I'm not, but it posted. Or at least I can see it posted.
You can see it. Say something else in the chat.
Shit.
Anything, just like Blair or anything.
Is this chat not working? Maybe I've got the wrong chat open. No, it's coming up. I can see Abe's chat.
I don't see you. Does anybody else see Kadath in the chat?
Yeah, I'm chatting with...
Yeah, I know he needs to be modded for links, Abe, but I don't see
Don't worry,
Kadath.
I'll put the link in Discord. Send it to you direct.
Yeah, send it to me directly on Discord and I'll share it right now. Like, I'll share the screen.
There you go.
Well, so, okay, so is it the one by Viper J 2K?
Yeah.
Conan Age of Dragons.
Yeah,
trailer?
he really helped
Okay.
me do the development stuff on it.
Oh, very good. Okay, let me just share this trailer with the fine folks at home. Present. Share screen. And share the audio. And then add to the stage. Jolly good. Here we go then. So,
Viper made all this. He actually got all the footage himself on the server.
I'm sorry, you were saying that Viper got all the footage for it from the server itself.
It was all filmed on the server, and yeah. So basically, we've modded the game to open up the map, and then added in a couple of map extensions to it, and then added a bunch of mods for different creatures. So we've added dragons, wyverns that you can fly, and all sorts of mounts, like you can ride mammoths, and we've added dinosaurs in and things like that.
That's incredible.
Just general. It took around 200 hours of development. All of this is new. All of this is new.
Fantastic.
They're new. That's all new. All the lighting, all the sound, all of the animal creature placements, the mobs and stuff in all of those underdark dungeons, that's all done by hand. Took hundreds and hundreds of hours. And Viper built all these buildings. And he put in a whole economy as well, so you can kill certain things for rewards in our version of the game to buy the mounts and stuff.
That's incredible.
Yeah, really good. You have to give it a go. Come join. and you only need the base game and a bunch of free mods. So yeah.
How much is the game at the moment?
Now, for the base game, I think it's about £8.
£8? You mean 8 single digits?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. And the mods are free, of course.
Mods are free, yeah. Okay, it's not on sale right now, but you only need the standard edition to join the server. Plus the password, obviously, which you can get off me. DM me.
Yes, so Kadath's links are in the description below. If you want to get in contact with him on Twitter or YouTube, I guess.
You can ride llamas and donkeys. Oh, and fly pterodactyls, yes. Yeah.
And I mean, who doesn't want to fly a pterodactyl, right?
Exactly.
And Abe is also saying if anyone wants help to play, he'll gladly help out too.
Oh yeah, the sandstorm. Customized the sandstorm. It's part of the base game, but we customized it to make it twice the size and added spawning creatures in it. So yeah. But that's my server. I fund it, so anyone who wants to play on it, just send me some DMs on Discord, and I'll
That's
sort you
incredible.
out. It was because I injured myself playing Conan. I couldn't play games anymore. And I really wanted to do something that was a little less intense than, constantly building castle that I worked on, or just doing combat, moving around and climbing and things like that. It was putting a lot of stress into my shoulder when it was inflamed already, and it's taken months. But come January, I sort of had this idea to do the server, and I wanted to keep my hand in the game but not be as intense as actually playing it. And it mushroomed and snowballed at the same time.
Much like a sandstorm.
Yes. We added a snowstorm blizzard as well. So yeah, it is it's very stable. Haven't had a problem with it. Haven't had an update for it. Let me see. Yeah, it's fine at the moment.
Viper added silver butt plugs.
That's probably part of a mod if they're on there.
I see. So I assume that it's Viper did and not you.
It's if they're there. See, there is a mod that's got cock rings and bondage equipment and all sorts of things in there. So if he's being serious, then it's probably from that mod. Yeah, Desires, I think it's called.
Oh, good dear. Well, there we go. Well, thank you, Greg, for coming on and continuing your adventure through the Talisman of Death.
Third time lucky.
Yes, hopefully now we'll have to see about getting you back on. In fact, I might make the sneaky decision to have you on in a few weeks, because I have got some dates open in the near future. I have been putting feelers out. There are a few people who are interested in coming along. Next week we have the Eclectic Goat. The following week we have Magitech Mags booked in. So perhaps you could be on the week after Magitech Mags to see if we can continue it. Or I may actually do a Tuesday stream instead, so that we can continue. And then that way we can have Thursdays as fresh guests or fresh books. And maybe we can do Tuesdays as continuing stories, if you get what I mean. However,
yeah, just let me
thank
know what
you.
you think.
Yeah, okay. No worries, mate. I will do. But thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure to entertain you and the chat with your story. Unfortunately, it means that you won't be changing books on your next visit to the Library of Legend. But yes, I guess I'm going to kick you away into the back now and just say thank you so much for coming on again, Greg. And ladies and gentlemen, Kadath Gaming, also known as Greg. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Yeah, cheers. Bye-bye.
Take care. And as for myself, I am Jack Tar Lad. You can find me on YouTube and all of my socials at Jack Tar Lad. I am trying to build up the numbers on Rumble. I'm currently at 125 members on the Read and Roll Rumble chat, Read and Roll Rumble channel, which I'm just about to post the link into the chat here. There we are. So if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, go over to the old Rumble Read and Roll channel and follow me there. Otherwise, click the subscribe button, do all the things and the stuff, you know. There it is. Subscribe, click the bell, get a thumb, shove it right up on in there. Do all the things and the stuff. And a very big thank you to Davyverse as well for the £6 donation, which greatly helped Kadath in this journey. Next week, as I've said, we've got the Eclectic Goat coming in to choose a brand new game book. It will be her first journey on Read and Roll. And the following week after that, we've got Magitech Mags, who will also be a fresh face to the channel. But until next time, you'll be able to find me on... so at the moment, I'm having trouble and some issues with Rumble, but I really, really want to try to start doing like random streams every single night of the week. So please look out on my ordinary Jack Tar Lad Rumble channel. I may be doing some streams there. Otherwise, you'll find me back here next week at 10 o'clock and on Wednesday on the Hump Day Chinwag. But until then, thank you all of you in the chat. I'm not going to go through all of you. I always seem to go through all of you in the chat at the end, you know, like, you know, click on everyone. But you all know who you are. And I'd just like to say thank you all for joining me and Greg for tonight's journey. But until next time, take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.